Welcome back to Who the Fook Are These Guys? How are you, Mako Shark?
I'm good, Matty.
You good?
I'm good.
Are you, though?
I'm fantastic.
Okay. Bit flat today, though, wasn't it?
Look, we're going to get into it, actually. Yeah. Huge episode coming up. Obviously, UFC 307 day was today.
Today.
Our man, friend of the pod, Chama.
Chama.
Give me one of these ones.
Cheers to Chama, by the way.
Cheers. Delgados, Australia's greatest
Brought to
liquid.
you by. Episode what, Mako Shark?
138. Cheers.
Jesus Christ, we're starting to bank them now, aren't we? Today was a funny day, Mako Shark. Filled with excitement.
Big day.
Disappointment. Hard day on the punt. Dabble, if anyone's out there. Who the fuck?
Rough day on the punt, actually.
Rough.
Far out. Gee whiz.
Great day on the pod, though. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up, Mako.
Big day on the pod. I can't wait to get into this actual podcast. This is going to be one of the best we've ever done, I reckon.
And do you know what? Not an apology, but last time we were probably 3 sheets to the wind. We sort of got excited with Pricey, didn't we?
I haven't looked back on it, actually. I haven't rewatched.
Yeah,
Probably best.
Coco, we probably had 4 too many the last one, hadn't we?
Can you have too many?
I don't think you can, to be honest. How many Delgados is too many? I don't think there's an answer to that.
Look, I think we're a little bit unprofessional with the last one, Mako.
I reckon that's what makes it great. I think we were loose and lazy, but this week we get a bit more dialed in.
Well, I'll tell you right now, another sponsor of the pod, Royal Derby Hotel, must be there for all fight days. They've got the mid-strength, the Great Northern back on. So that's made my life a little bit easier because I've been trying to juggle heavies.
Yeah, you're looking good, feeling good.
I haven't got that weird... I looked at myself last time. It's when your face decides to eat itself. That's when you know you've had too much. Yeah, puff.
Start looking like Khalil after
Friend
his
of
head.
the pod, Nick Cody, mentioned he had a 6-month break off the piss because his face started to encapsulate itself.
Your face starts munching on itself.
It's
I haven't
bad.
had that.
Haven't you?
I don't drink beer, so maybe that's it. I don't know.
I think Jack and Coke's probably...
You might be right, actually. I'm going to see if I can get my face to eat my own face. That'd be big.
So talk to me, Mako Shark. Big week because we've had some boxing as well. We cover a lot, and we haven't even covered our mate, Big White Chocolate, had a fight recently over in the
Big
fucking...
White Chocky, yeah.
In the doldrums of
secretly
Russia or
over
somewhere.
in the,
Secret Russia.
Jacko Murray. Huge. But look, it's been a big week. 307, just hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
So we can talk all about that, Matty. We're going to talk about that. We've got a big guest coming up.
Well, this is great because we've often talked about how we don't really always feel like we fit in because we haven't got the laptops. We're not looking for...
We're not journalists, you know what I mean?
Journos. And this guest, she's the same.
I'd say she's the hottest rising prospect in MMA media in the world today. Would you say
we're the
that?
hottest pod.
Well, we are.
She's the hottest prospect.
She's not, or she's got her own show, YouTube sensation.
We'll give her a shout out for that.
Kickback.
The kickback.
Aly Mac, Return of the Mac.
Mako Shark.
What else? Big Mac, Return of the Mac, Mac Daddy. What else we got? Reba McIntyre.
Reba McIntyre's a big one. I don't think she's old enough to even know what that is.
We'll come up with a nickname before she gets here.
Coco, any ideas?
Mac Andrew, big deal, big contract.
The big deal.
Yeah, the big deal.
That's a long window. I like that. But she's gone on an absolute rise.
On a tear,
here,
she's gone.
A tear.
She's
an
like...
absolute...
We were on a tear, but she's come over the top tear. She's tearing.
It's like when I did the peer to pub. Thought I was going well, right? Because they let the men go first. They let the professionals. Then I was swimming, and I'm thinking, geez, I'm going all right.
How far is it? Peer to pub? 2K?
I think it's a 2.8 maybe. Coco could check that while I'm talking.
That's a big
Guess
swim.
what they do though? Then they
Big
release
swim.
the elite women.
Oh,
And you tell you what,
Susie.
you think you're swimming well with Moroni.
Susie.
They come over the top of you, Mako Shark. They kick and claw, and you've never felt anything more violent in a swimming. Like you're
Is that
swimming.
sexist? They kick and claw. Is that sexist?
Well, the men kick and claw.
Okay, we all kick and claw.
We all kick and claw.
Yeah, we
but
do.
They let the men go first, so I'm not kicking and clawing with the men.
They let just the men or the elite men or the shit men?
They let all men go first.
Okay.
Then they let all females. But they let first they let the elite females. Then they catch all the men. And they just make you look dog shit.
Yeah.
You're
there doggy paddling for your life, and Susie comes fucking butterflying past.
One pier to pub, Mako Shark. Then YouTube was invented. Then I saw a big great white off the pier of Lawn, and I went, you know what? This fitness in the water thing's not for me.
Get out of the water, mate.
You don't need it.
I don't trust the water, mate.
I don't run in Westfolds Park anymore either.
It's Rattly boys, slidey boys.
Slidies, right? You don't need to run there. It's not cardio's not that important to me, Mako.
Oh, I've got a lot of slidey boys out the front of my joint. Have I told the listeners about that? They're having sex out the front of my house. 2 brown snakes.
Brown snake rooting.
Legitimate. Have you ever seen 2 brown snakes rooting? Ever? Right in front of you. I filmed it.
It's my biggest panic.
I went full Dave Attenborough mode. It was huge.
Do they make noise?
They don't make noise, right? But they do twitching.
Do you know what they do?
It's kind of like a weird slapping sort of. It's very crook.
Do you know what they actually do? They have their white singlets on. They put it over their heads.
They put the arm behind the back and they
Put
just
one arm behind the back.
Yeah, they just
And
go
they
to
go
town.
for it, Mako
The
Shark.
motion of the fucking brown snake ocean.
Fantastic. Now,
Give it a hot
we've
tip.
gotten right off track. It was it was an okay day of fights.
These judges, I'm going to get into the judges.
Yeah.
When we get into this, I'm going to fucking straight line these judges.
We've had issue and we've had show course. We want a show course notice from them.
These judges have got to get their heads in the game.
The punters out there on Dabble are absolutely getting rorted at the minute.
Bullshit, mate.
And I will say, to spoiler, but like Pena didn't look like she thought she won. Oh, we obviously
Pena
won.
passed her.
We had her the Pena passed her, but she didn't. She looked half shocked.
He didn't win, mate.
You know, like she just sort of went, cool.
Pena,
Normally they always have the arm in the air.
they didn't, mate, she didn't win that.
She probably didn't win it.
It was close, but she didn't win it.
Best on ground today was Connor.
Connor was great on the
He was
tweets.
on a yacht somewhere, surely.
Dirt decision was my favourite.
As
Just
well,
today.
my wife has coined it, which is a new one. I think he was on a nose A.
Mate, the
his
nose
tweeting
A's,
was
yeah.
nose-aing.
He's heavy on the nose. So look, we could waffle here all day, but we shouldn't.
We're the kings of waffle.
We're going to get into this 307 preview.
Bullet point the listeners and the watchers what we have coming up.
Delgados. Just
And
put it
why
in.
to stay tuned, because we never really do it. And to download and fucking...
Download, listen, subscribe, comment, share, all the good stuff. 307 recap, full recap coming
Full
up.
recap.
Our friend of she's going to be friend of the pod. She's going to be friend of the world coming up any minute, taking over Aly Mac.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the pod now.
She's that famous
She's
with
famous.
this scene.
Famous.
That famous that she gets Dana White collabed hosts.
Dana White could see us now. This is big. Put us on the... We've been on the radar, but this is going to get us right on the radar
It's
now.
either it'll make or break us, this, I think.
A couple of white blokes. We run this game, Dana.
Well, we do the
fuck it.
fucking.
We do the fucking. So we can't wait to get into that. It's going to be a big episode. We're going to talk all about it. We've got a big week coming up.
Week. Massive.
Brought to you by Delgado. We may as well just stop waffling, Matty. Let's get into it. Aly
Cheers,
Mac.
cheers and a sip.
Cheers and a sip. All right, who the fuckers? We are very excited to get into this one, Matty, aren't we? This is exciting.
Absolutely.
We've got the hottest rising commodity in MMA media right now in the studio with us. It's the great Aly Mac. How are you, Aly Mac?
Hello,
How are you?
hello.
Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. And Mako Shark, even better now that we've seen
mate, this
Engage Jacket, has used the Fook 10 code. Fook 10 out there.
10.
I tell you
Book
what.
10.
10% off all engaged. Look at the jacket on her. Looking $1 million in
You
that.
do mention though, because we call ourselves the hottest podcast in the world. But I tell you, there's not been a rise like we've seen here, Mako Shark. This has been unbelievable.
It's
You
been
must
crazy.
at times yourself be just looking back, thinking you're living in a, the out of body experience because
Every
it's been
day.
quick. And I tell you what, you've reached a lot of very big high flyers at the minute.
Yeah,
so
I posted my first thing on Instagram just 6 months ago. The first thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's been crazy. Every single day since then, I felt that there's been some sort of new milestone or some big recognition. I can't believe it. Like, so quick. And I feel I am still just a fan. So
Yep.
these interactions that I'm having are bizarre.
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And I think that's being a fan. You can tell when you're a fan or if you're not a fan because it's
Yes.
so natural. We're the same. I just told you off air just before that the day that Alexander Volkanovski hit follow on our little podcast page, I nearly
you can
shat.
see our back and forth about that. There was a lot of.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
over the
shit on the
top.
couch. I tapped the missus on the shoulder. I go, look at this. Look, I tagged him. I
Yeah.
go, I screenshot. I sent it.
Yeah.
These.
I think we even posted it, didn't we?
Nah, we didn't go full fanboy mode and post
Nilly,
it. But
Nilly.
these
Tempting.
just little
I get it.
things.
Yeah.
You must have things that are happening daily that are just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh yeah. Like, in a weird way, 6 months, like, even though I feel like there's been something happening every day, I still get that feeling of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I'm texting, it's for me, I'm texting my mum or my partner, like, oh my God, like, because I don't have a lot of friends that like MMA or UFC.
Yep.
And even before all of this, I'm not really that into sports.
Yes.
But like, it's literally just the UFC and I watch the State of Origin. So 3
There
rugby
you go.
league games a year.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
So the people that I speak to are mainly my partner and my mum.
Yeah.
And I freak out to them all the time. So they know all about that. But yeah, like they fangirl with me, I guess, now. So
Well, we see Dana White even collabs on Postmaker. So
Mate,
could
I
you imagine
started
our
getting-
hearts? We'd have to get up with one of those new Shea-worn heart checks that they've got
I
at
get
the
butterflies in the
stadiums.
stomach when I see you're getting the Dana White collabs. I'm like, what are we doing?
Unbelievable.
that first time that I ever had that
Really?
interaction with him, I actually filmed a reaction of myself,
Yeah.
which one day I'll allow the internet
Yes.
to see.
Yes.
Don't go, Will.
But it was crazy. First, he had commented on one of my trivia videos just saying, I like this. And I was like, okay.
Thank you. I like this.
Play it cool. Yeah. I just replied,
Just like it.
thanks, boss.
It's great
Really,
play.
really chill.
One of these emojis.
Yeah. And then I saw that he'd followed me, and I actually had to follow him back because
That's big.
I didn't follow. I was like,
That's a good power play.
I had to
I
follow
like
back.
that.
Dana
That's
White.
huge.
Yeah.
The MacBook Pro, that's power move. It's good from
And
the.
I was discussing with Ryan, like, do I message him? Like, what do I do? And I was like, no, let's just be cool.
Yeah, play cool, yeah.
And then it was the next day that he had saved that video and posted it himself onto his platform.
Wow. That's huge.
And I was like, whoa, okay, he's gone out of his way here
Yes.
to do this. And that's not something that I'm not sure if he's ever done something
Well, you
like
can
that
imagine
before.
the amount of things he gets tagged in and sees and comes
Yeah.
across his.
I've tagged him in hundreds of things. That's never happened, mate. Never happened.
Yeah, so he posted that and I was like, okay, this is the time where I just message him and just say, thank you so much for the support.
Yeah.
If there's ever, any opportunities there, I'm here. And he just said, like, love how much you churn out the content, keep it up.
Yep.
And then ever since then, the next trivia video I made, I actually just kind of winged it and was like, should I send Dana a collab?
Yeah,
on there? Like,
just a prayer.
Just give it a go.
Yeah, you just never know.
Worst you can do is just not accept it.
Exactly. And then he accepted it and said, like, this is badass. I was like, okay, we've got something going here.
Yeah.
And ever since then, every pay-per-view, I've done one and we've collabed. So we've kind of got this unspoken
Yeah, I was gonna say.
thing.
I love that because people probably think it's this like drawn out thing. It's all like masterminded.
Yeah.
It's all like, coming from above. There's this big plan. But
I'm still hoping
it's
for the
not.
best every time I post, like, please accept,
It's
please accept.
It's unspoken. Like just, he loves what you're doing. You're giving it a crack and he just, I love that.
Yeah.
Very
It's
good.
been amazing. Yeah, the feedback, and then obviously that's allowed me to grow even quicker doing those so regularly now. But I met Hunter at UFC 305 in Perth.
Yep.
And, when I met him, he was like, I know Dana can't be here, but I just wanted to let you know we love playing your trivia videos. So that was a very, very nice pat on the back. And that was crazy in itself. I got like pulled out of my seat to go and meet Hunter Campbell.
That's big.
He's the man too.
He's
we
the
watched
man.
that doco. Like Hunter gets the shit
He's
done.
the
Yeah, like
guy.
people don't realize that.
Well-
Big Campbell soup. He's the man that gets it done.
Yeah.
He's unreal.
Well, because obviously they see a lot of content, don't they? Right? Think about how many people are out there doing.
Thousands upon thousands of people.
Did you have
pumping out content.
when you started this whole thing? Did you sit back, look at it, assess, and see where there was gaps, or have you is it just sort of come naturally that that's something that you've enjoyed doing? Like, because it's interesting because it's obviously something that struck a chord with them, and then when you think about it, no one else has ever done it really to the level that you're doing it as frequently. Is that something that you tried to look and do, or is it just that you just...
Well, I think the UFC is something that's growing quite rapidly around the world, but in Australia in particular, and it's such a male-dominated organization. And so obviously being a woman, I knew that I had, a little unique selling point there. And when I look at the content as a fan, I was like, what kind of content do I like to consume myself,
Yeah.
So I love watching, it was Megan O'Leary when I first started watching. I was like, she's really cool.
She is.
And then I saw like Laura Sanko. I'm like, she's really cool.
Yeah.
And then obviously Nina's doing her own thing. So these women all have their own place. And I was like, okay, how do I kind of have my thing going
Yeah,
here? What can I do? And being a fan, I just wanted to be raw and authentic. And so I actually started posting on TikTok first in October. So about a year then.
TikTok's fucking no good, yeah.
We're
It's
too
very
old for
different.
TikTok.
I don't think
It's very different.
MMA has. It just doesn't work. I don't know if there's an MMA
So-
sort of
Work
like
for you?
community
TikTok,
on
obviously
TikTok.
it's worked a bit.
No, I don't think
In a
TikTok
way,
did.
So
I don't know.
from October to March, I was exclusive to TikTok.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going off here. Like I'm doing really, really well here.
Yeah.
But then it was only when Instagram kind of
It's Instagram
blew up
for
and
fighting.
overtook
Yeah.
Okay.
that I was like, oh, okay, this is a completely different algorithm on
Yeah.
TikTok. I actually don't really know what I'm doing. The mindset of the people on TikTok, I find it's very different that I don't think I click with as well as I do on Instagram.
Same as
Well, I
us.
love fighting as much as anything, but I also go on TikTok to see people get the ring dinger. Have you seen that with the chiropractic thing where they put have you ever seen that? The towel
I just
under
know
the neck.
chiropractor stuff.
Yeah, they put this
I stay
towel
off
under the
TikTok.
neck and they do this like relaxing me, and then they do this jolt and they stretch the whole body.
Yeah,
But
TikTok's
see, I love
strange.
fighting, but then I go on to watch that.
I
so
see blokes
a
taking
weird.
out wax out
It's
of
not
the
the
ear.
place where you go to watch fight stuff.
There's no one on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's not a community where you comment back and forth. The fighters aren't really on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah, the fighters
doesn't
aren't
work
there
for
as
MMA,
much. The
come on.
fighters aren't there as much, but I did find this little community because I did have quite a good engagement when I first started out there, but I've kind of chosen Instagram as that main platform. So yeah, it is a very different world,
It
but
is.
I find now that I've, kind of committed more to Instagram, I know it a lot better. I've become familiar with what I post, and yeah, TikTok, it's kind of scary.
You,
It's kinda
you
scary.
did mention male-dominated sport, but then you followed up with some great female,
Yeah.
names. I
Yeah.
think the sport and, in this world, like you said, it's very male-dominated sports, but I think the UFC offers unbelievable, and the best performers, I believe, are the women that you name.
100%.
Yeah.
Laura Sanko, Megan
Not
Levy.
only as you said, Megan, Laura, yourself, Nina, it's behind the camera too. We
Yeah.
obviously have a lot to do with UFC and media and this and that. Most of the people running the show day to day
Correct.
behind the scenes are all women.
I
Yeah.
found that when I went to Perth, I was actually looking around like there are so many women
So
here.
many.
So it's seen
Yeah.
as this big, like barbaric sport, but the best performers and the people that are running it. So it's kind of.
Yeah.
I don't think the greater world understand that.
Yeah,
though.
but
That's
from that fan's perspective,
Yeah.
it just seems so like aggressive
So macho,
and
yeah.
manly. Yeah.
But it's
which
not.
it's probably not, is it?
And no, it really isn't. And obviously, you spoke about Nina. Have you and Nina? Did you bond? You're a couple of industry plants just hanging out together.
Yeah.
Is that what?
I wish I was an industry plant. It'd be a lot easier than
Wouldn't it
what
be,
I'm having
mate?
to do
Wouldn't
now.
it
Oh
be?
my gosh. But no, I met her at the open workouts in Perth, and she was incredible.
Yeah.
Like she was so friendly. I was just watching her interact with all the fans. I met her and just told her I love what she's doing. She's got her own thing going on, and I love how she allows us to see another side
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
fighters. For me, that's something that I want to do as well, obviously
Yeah.
in my own way, but
Yes.
just because, again, from an outside perspective, fighters seem so aggressive and intimidating, and
Hard
they're
to crack
just
at times. Yeah.
And obviously during fight week as well, they're always so locked in. And so the fact that she's able to show that other
Absolutely.
side, I love that. And I think it makes them more relatable, more likable. It makes you want to root for them more when you're watching them fight as well.
And it's underrated how hard it is to get that side of people out. Like
Yeah.
I think people just want to write her off sometimes as whatever. What she does is hard, man. It's
Yeah,
not just easy
very
just to
smart
roll
woman.
up and
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
creative, entertaining content.
Yeah.
It's hard.
You mentioned that you want to do that yourself. We've got to plug the show, Mako Shark. She's got her own show.
Well, obviously got the big
Yes.
We've
Let's
gone
talk
about
about
8 minutes.
Yes.
9 minutes. It's not even really plugged, but like you've obviously now got
The
a
big show.
platform to do that. You've
Yes.
come out with the hard hitting big Yuri Prashaka. We love him, but we're Poatan men, but we've been Yuri
Oh,
boys.
so am I. So am I.
yeah, that's right. But tell us about that, how that's come about, and where the people out there can follow you and
Yes,
watch
yes.
it. 'cause
So we have the first episode of The Kickback with Aly Mac.
Good name, I might add.
Yes.
How long did
Shout
that
out
take?
to Ryan. No,
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. We
Share
were.
there.
good
Gold
fella, by
star.
the way, Ryan. We've tried to have
Amazing.
beers at least 3 different times, and I
man.
reckon he'd be, even though he's one of the fittest looking individuals, I reckon
There's
his
a Delgado here for you, mate.
his body fat percentage would be
Yeah, no,
very
look out.
low, but I reckon he's got a good beer session
If
in
anyone
him.
wants to talk shit online, he's shredded, all right? He'll come for you. Don't worry about that.
Gosh, he definitely thought of the name. We were brushing our teeth. He was like, the kickback with Aly Mac. Like, that was how it
Got
came
it.
about. Yeah.
Fucking you
And
got
I
it.
like screamed like, that's it. Yes. But Ryan's actually also the person that introduced me to the UFC.
There you go.
So
There you go, yeah.
everything goes
Shout
to
him
him
out.
anyway. But so first episode's out. It's produced by Full Violence, which is amazing. They've given me this
The
opportunity.
second best MMA apparel in the world, behind Engage, of course.
Well, yep. I'll
Yeah,
let you say
there
that.
Let us say that. It's out of our mouths.
Fook
Yes,
10,
Fook
Fook 10, 10%
Yeah.
off.
Let it,
Sorry.
No, it's amazing. They've given me the opportunity and platform to be able to connect with these fighters that they've obviously got a great relationship as well. They messaged me when I had like 4,000 followers
Yeah.
and were like, would you ever be interested in doing something? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
I didn't think it would be this soon,
Yeah.
but yeah. And I pitched a bunch of ideas and just told them about how I, again, want to show another side to a fighter's lifestyle. And it was just that I love things like cooking shows,
Yep.
Are you
travel
a,
shows.
Phil Rosenthal, Somebody Feed Phil fan?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my boy right there.
Yeah. So I wanted to do that for myself. Traveling, food, lifestyle,
Yep.
but with fighters.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
You couldn't get better than that.
So, and being able to do it in their hometown where they're comfortable. So that's exactly what I wanted to be doing, and having Yuri as the first guest was
It's a pretty wild first.
We're talking absolute, like
Czech Republic in, how do we say the name of that town? Brno. You said just Bruno. I'm like, is it just Bruno? Is it? That's flat.
I did enjoy watching you hit the things. And you just saw him try, and then he just went, yeah, that's good. But like he knew he probably didn't think it was good, but he was just like, we got to get past this.
This will have to do.
Their life is long.
What was he like? What was he like spending time with though? Like, because he's obviously an unknown character. He's talking about when he fought Poatan, he was buying into Poatan's like magic and.
Yeah.
But he's obviously a spiritual, very like highly focused guy.
I will say he is exactly as he seems.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not a character.
Oddball.
He's all in. On everything that he believes and learns. Like that is his lifestyle. 100%.
And he's been flawless and really up until he's been he's a
There's
great.
no shame in losing to Poatan, is there?
No,
Like,
and
it's
like-
like that.
Another world, something we talk about the cricket when McGill with Shane Watt, he would be still the champ and probably reigning over all
Stuart
these
McGill
people.
could be Prime Minister if it wasn't
But
for
you know
Shane
what I mean?
Warne.
Like he would be if he never had Poatan in his
You'd be champion,
time, he'd
probably.
be champ. He would be. So it's unfair sometimes, but he's a guy that's still going to be making a lot of noise, I reckon.
Absolutely. I think every time he fights, like he brings a show, he's got such a unique personality. He does have that aura as well. Like he's got his own thing going on, and being able to be so close and experience something like that with him was incredible. I was the first person that he'd ever allowed into his dojo.
Wow.
Definitely, yeah.
That's big.
Did the meditating and like just seeing that place where we've only ever seen on like Countdown and Embedded before. And I was like, oh my God, we're here. Oh my God. Like, trying to play it cool.
Weird,
And it's pretty stressful. Like you're like probably like us. Before you got into this world, somehow just fell into it.
Yeah.
You don't have any background in television or any of this shit.
I don't know how to interview people. I don't
We
I
still
just
don't
have
know.
a conversation. And honestly, that's what full violence kind of said for me to go with anyway. They don't expect me
The rawness.
to be a professional journalist. They're just like, just talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so which was lucky in a way because that shoot happened so last minute. We were on holiday in Greece, and about 3 days into the trip, they're like, oh, you might have to fly to the Czech Republic to shoot with you. And I was like, okay. No questions prepared. I didn't have any of the right clothes. I had like, my resort Greece wedding stuff. And I was like,
This'll do.
not sure I'm ready for that. So it was a very much a last minute sprawl to get things sorted, but we did it. And for a first episode, I'm so happy.
It is good. 100% it is. And you will look back on that and cringe probably in another 6 months.
I know I will.
You'll only get better from here
I
on.
will say that's way better than our first one that we ever did.
Our first ever should
can't
be
even
just-
believe that we've got that live still.
We should delete
I've
it
got to
from
start from somewhere.
Now, look, talking about future plans with that, how often, like how hard is it going to be to plan future guests? Because you said you're in Greece on a wedding, and then they say come here. Have they said be ready, like almost 24/7 to get the call?
I'm all in on any sort of UFC related opportunity right now. I think the fact that it's grown so quickly, I feel like it means that I'm doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
And been recognized by the right people. So I'm like, okay, this is what I should be focusing on right now.
Yeah,
I think I'm lucky in a way that I don't come from like a 9-to-5 office job where I'm like, oh, I have to take leave I don't have any time off left.
Sometimes we do interviews. I go into our soundproof booths at work.
Right.
Yeah.
And it looks like I'm doing it. Well, shit, my boss does watch this, but anyway, he likes me. But like, it looks like you're doing work, but you just do 20-minute interviews.
I called
and you're in the office.
Exactly.
We flew to Windang to interview the Volk for episode 100. I called in sick that day.
I'm lucky I don't have
still, I don't get, take a day off work, whatever, it's all good. I never get a call from anyone, right? But I'm literally interviewing Alex Volkanovski at the gym, and I had my phone here with a few notes. I looked down, and it was one of the people from work calling me on my lap midway talking to Alex. I'm like, what the fuck are they calling me for?
Yeah.
So, you don't have anything like that happening. That's great.
No, I'm
'cause
all in
I
on
didn't
this.
need that at the time. I had a lot going through my mind. I didn't need a call from work while I've called in sick. I'm supposed to be in bed, and I'm talking to Volk.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I don't know what kind of workplace would allow me to kind of up and go to here. Yeah, I've got to interview this guy that they'd probably have no idea who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have not been surrounded by people who really know anything about the UFC or this whole world. So I'm lucky that I have a small but very, tight group of supportive people around me to be able to do it.
Well, we're wrapped, aren't we? Because when we dropped into this whole media UFC, getting our passes and going, we're not laptop journalist guys. We always felt out of like, because
Oh my God, us at the press conference?
everyone would say to us though, like, "Well, what do you guys like? How do you guys go out with the fighters and drink and still come? And what are you doing?" But like, because we're not journalists, but it's good to have someone that has a bit different. You know, you've got different stuff like us, so it's actually we love it because now we're sort of building a bit of a
We've got our own thing going
little
on.
crew,
Melbourne,
right?
and it's all Melbourne based. I mean, we're taking over this
Yeah.
fucking game, I reckon.
And I love how I've just tacked us onto that. We're just riding on the back of.
No, I love it.
You know, like they're so stressful. All these guys, you look at them and they're like, and then they
it's so
look, and we're
funny.
just relaxed.
I
like,
think about us at the weigh-ins and the press conferences. Everyone's got all their tripods and
Correct.
like
So annoyed if
laptops, and we're
something-
just here with our
Yeah, it was
iPhones.
fun.
Like,
and they're all, and then, mate, and then Izzy just like yells at him at the press conference after the fight. Anyone got any like intelligent questions? And then I come in over the top with the
Yeah, it was
best question of the
good.
day.
So
fuck,
good.
fuck all of you all, you know what I mean?
absolutely. Well, Mako, we should talk about the fight day today.
before we get into
okay,
the fights.
sorry to do that.
Let's talk about Rob Whittaker because you got Ep 2 coming up.
Ep 2.
Can we talk
he's
about
the
Ep 2?
best.
We love Rob.
we love Rob.
Got the big fight coming up. Thumbs up.
True story. We haven't been able to get him.
Oh, he's amazing.
I know.
He would love you guys.
He would love us.
Yeah.
No questions asked, but we just haven't quite got him
Because
on.
he's not a huge I don't think he's a huge media guy. He's got some trusted people.
Schedule's conflicted a couple times.
So we'll get him one day. It'll be
You
great.
just put the word in for us. And
Yeah,
we'll
a
get him
little-
on back.
So how was it going from Yuri to Rob? Obviously,
Different
this is
people.
what's going to be great about your channel and what you're doing because the personalities are so different, but they've still
Exactly.
got the same goal to be champion these. But the stories and what's behind them.
Yeah, well, the difference in obviously the two of them, when you look at them from an outside, they're so different. But then me actually having to, have these conversations with Rob, like he's just like my other Aussie
Such a
mate.
bloke. Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It was so casual, so relaxed. I actually can't wait to be able to show you guys some of the shorts and like full length videos that we have because it was just such a fun day.
Yeah.
I thought I would be a bit paranoid with him because he is in his fight camp right now.
correct,
I wasn't
yeah.
sure how much he'd let loose because obviously you see him, he's a funny, relaxed guy,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
when a fighter's in the zone, you're like, oh, how
Within
much
like
can
a
I,
month, yeah.
how much can I joke around here? Like, is he gonna allow me to be a bit
Yeah.
goofy? And it was fine.
Yeah,
it was
that's
so
good.
much fun.
We probably like that too because it's
Yeah.
always, how's fight camp going? How's weight cut going?
Yeah.
How's your food? But like to spend a day with someone and show them, and do what you're doing with it. I think maybe
if
it was a good.
If I'm able to recognize as a fan that he's answered the same question a lot of times, I'm like,
Yeah.
he
Don't
doesn't
go
want to
with
hear
it.
that again.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just go polar opposite and
Yep.
just have a bit of fun with it. Still fighting related questions here and there, but also just, I want to find out who they actually are aside from all of that.
Yeah. When's
Yeah.
that Ep dropping?
The week of his fight.
Perfect.
So I think it's the 21st.
I like that.
Don't.
Can you give any
Confirm.
teasers for any future guests? Any
26th,
teasers
that's
for
right.
anyone that's coming up, or just
I
won't put you on the spot.
I can say I do plan on traveling to New York and Macau.
oh
So
Yeah, that's big.
That'll be for 309 and then
Yep,
the fight
the
night
following
there.
week.
So
Bit of John
there might
Jones
be-
work, maybe?
Yeah.
wow.
You never know. Well, Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira,
A little
potentially.
something.
Exciting.
Big John did some work with I see a mutual friend of ours, the big Sea Wolf. He always gets around. He
Big
celebrates.
Sea
Yeah, we like the
So
Shout
Sea
he's a big John Jones guy. So
Yeah.
mate, you probably read between the lines there, Mako.
Might be something happening there. No, you never know. You never know.
Now,
Big day today. We should
Yes.
get into it. Obviously, UFC 307. I'm sure
Yeah.
you were watching.
Yeah.
Friend
Madness.
of the pod. Let's get into the main event, Matt.
and I'd like to know. We'll go as we go along. I'd love to know how is it Ted?
Ted.
How was his
Ted.
tips? Because we should start putting on some Ted multis.
Ted's a superstar.
Because we've been punting horrifically lately. So I'd love to know
So
as
have
we go
I.
through the fights how Ted went, Mako. Because he's
Ted was cooking
to be
today for a
fair,
bit.
Was Ted
today's decision,
tough.
like
Yeah, it was very.
there were a
Ted
few
can't
weird ones
adjust
there.
the dodgy refereeing or
Exactly.
judging, can he? The
Exactly.
judges are
No.
fucking cooked.
I thought it was great how you showed how Ted does it too. Because
I get so much
people
crap.
must say, "Oh, you cheated."
Yeah, you
like,
only put food on one
Yeah,
side. You
come
put
on.
more food on one
People
side.
are
It's
just
like,
gonna-
no.
People got so much time
Ted
on their
knows
hands.
what he's
As if
doing.
you're going to like
the
rig a
oracle.
dog going to a yes/no cup challenge to suit
it's
your
not
own.
that deep.
Doesn't matter if it goes yes or no to you.
Yeah, and I was like, if you actually watched my videos, you would know that I say something different
Correct.
anyway. So
Have you? I'll talk about it quickly. Have you ever? Obviously, your rise has been quickly and this and that. Have you caught much negativity? Because I look through sometimes, I see comments.
Oh, yeah.
Not that much negativity. I reckon it's been mostly positive though,
mostly positive.
compared
yeah.
to Anina, who just cops
I reckon
shit.
negative feedback's always
Negative,
almost
though,
good
means
because they're
you're on the
giving
right
like
path,
you,
yeah.
I love
more,
the engagement.
correct.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like
it.
every click is like cha-ching, cha-ching, keep going.
That's all it is.
Cop
Yeah.
much? Like,
Oh
is it-
yeah, definitely. But I have a look at what the profile looks
It's
like.
always
and I'm
funny,
like,
isn't it?
I'm
We-
fine.
And let's not be rude, but it's someone that's not even remotely even thought to do their own show, and they're probably
Exactly.
living
We
with their
had-
parents still in
once
a
we did the,
basement,
Yeah.
and they're on the keyboard, and it's like, well, cool.
When we did
but
the
you
Poatan
clicking on this
shows-
is helping me because
Exactly.
now, yeah,
We did the Poatan shows and we had one bloke in particular started.
Oh,
Remember
yes.
that prick?
said he was going to come in.
Some weirdo just started
Threat, man,
drilling
it's
us
threat.
hard. He started calling us AstroTurf, which I didn't know what that meant, but I looked into it and it means like you're fake.
It's good though because that means they've actually watched it. So it's like,
Yes.
thank you for watching.
Yeah,
so you just
they've
kill them
watched
with.
it. They've left a comment.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank
Good on you.
Yeah.
Well, I'd never have to deal with you ever again.
So
but
yeah,
keep
the
going.
more haters you get, obviously, it's probably
That's it. And that was
yeah.
actually something that Nina said to me when I met her. It's that when you first start out, you get so much love because that's when you're growing,
Yeah.
you're gaining
then
the fan base.
people don't
But
like it.
as you grow,
angry people don't
more
like it.
hate will come along the way as well. So just, I'm
Jealousy's a
definitely.
curse.
Oh,
as
and then
they
we
say.
also copped a few people in the Volk interview that was like, why don't you suck him off more?
Oh,
and I'm like, of course I'm sucking him off.
yeah.
It's Alex
Our
Volkanovski.
brand is if you're a friend of the pod,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you're a 12-1. Like we'll
love
go,
you, mate.
we'll say you're going to win, and
Yeah.
and we don't give two even sides of it. So like anytime Volk fights, anytime Cooley bat, anytime that any one of our guys girls fight,
we're not
we're
about
like we're pro
impartiality.
them, right? So
Yeah, of
we're
course.
of course we're gonna cop some.
Don't come here for level-headed, unbiased
Oh,
analysis.
no,
Don't come here.
100%. Well, that's it. Sometimes I try to be, I talk about both sides, but then
Yeah.
I will say what my pick is.
Yeah.
And if I've picked someone that, someone doesn't agree with, they're like, die.
We might have to
die.
sub Ted in a couple of times when they're friends of the pod, but at least give an even
Yeah.
approach of it.
Well, all right, we'll get into 307 now.
Should. Coco will be getting antsy because he's got to watch the storm.
We got to get going. Yeah, hell, fuck. Alex Pereira just continues on his merry way. What a fight! This is
What a
probably
fight.
outside the Adesanya fight. It's his biggest test to date.
It was so good to watch.
unreal.
I was on the edge of my seat. Like, if I was there with that elevation, I probably would have passed out. I was
lightheaded.
just like so intense. And there were moments there where
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Khalil's a fucking tough bastard.
He's incredible. Like,
I like him.
It was. I'd like to go back and watch it with it muted because I thought the commentary today was annoying. Because like every time Roundtree threw a punch and it was hitting, it was very like it was sort of reactive. Whereas I think
Yeah.
he was never really in as much trouble as they would let you believe. I think they have to sell a fight, and
of course.
but I think he overall was unbelievably polished and measured too because he's
Measured.
made his mistakes with Izzy when he's
Yes.
backed up on the cage and gone in.
He just knows he can just take his time.
Yeah, and
No
he
one-
doesn't seem to drop his gloves as much as he used to,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
Today that could have ended in tears if he did that, right?
yeah, oh, exactly.
Punched his whole nose off his face.
And then his eye as well.
Oh, he had a giant gash here.
Yeah.
Unreal.
He's a frightening man.
No, we'll definitely see a lot more of. I don't think that fight did him, bad at
No.
all. I think he's going to gain such a big fan base from this, and we're going to see so much more of
And you
him.
talked
and
about Utah and the altitude.
Yeah.
So he's done four rounds, 4 and a bit rounds
4.5.
at that high altitude, taken some okay licks, and then shown the poise and measured to go in and finish a guy well. I think that's a scary thing for anyone that's going to fight him now.
As soon as it passed the second round, I was
Yeah.
like, he's
taking
done
over
better
him.
than most. Yeah.
Well, Khalil is just. I like him.
We
He's a
like
good dude,
Yeah.
I reckon. Like, he's a real chilled,
As I was watching
cool sort of dude.
the lead up stuff, I was like, he's so soft spoken.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the way that he speaks about Thailand and like
Yes.
the respect that he has for the country.
And he has cats.
Yeah.
I'm a cat daddy.
Oh, you're a
He's
cat
a cat
guy.
daddy. 3
yeah.
cats. I like a man
Yeah.
that's secure enough in himself to be like, yes, cats are better than dogs.
does
Like,
4 kilo dogs count as a cat?
you've got a really small dog. It almost counts as a dog.
Ted's 2.7.
There you go. So we're
yeah,
almost,
it's
we're
yeah.
almost. Even though mine tests me every day. I don't hate him. I love him to my core. But recently, I dislike him. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I went out for 3 minutes. He managed to go and shit on the carpet. He managed to go into the cupboard and eat stuff he shouldn't have. Then he pulled the baby gate down, went upstairs and caused mayhem.
3 minutes.
Within 3 minutes. Then I came home and he's sitting on his bed looking at me and I'm like,
What
this is
breed?
a mini dashhound.
Real small
little
dash.
One of the worst
sausage.
dogs.
Long back.
Worst,
I've
one of the
heard
worst.
mixed reviews about sausage
Don't get 'em.
dogs.
There's a mixed one right
I'm
there.
telling you right now, anyone out there ever thinks it's cool to get look, dogs are great. Mini dashhounds, no.
Love dogs. Get a cat. They're fantastic. I got 3 of them.
Get a Pomeranian.
Or a Pomeranian.
Get Ted.
Yeah.
Ted.
well-
Ted. No, but anyway, where are we going with
I
that?
don't know where we were. We're talking about Khalil. He's unreal. Tough.
Unreal.
Catman.
Unreal prick.
Said that, right.
I think Yeah, he lost, but as you said, didn't lose any.
Stock went up.
Stock's gone right through the roof.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz effect.
I said this. This is what I want to see. I want to see Khalil versus Jamal Hill. Because
Yes.
I fucking hate
Oh,
Jamal
yeah.
Hill. If you're looking
Oh, yeah.
right now, I'm coming at you, Jamal.
We're not big Jamal Hill guys.
You
Did you see
stink. He's
him?
doing
Oh,
this.
yeah.
But he did it with a... He looked like
He
an
didn't even do that
absolute-
right.
Yeah.
Can't even do that right.
I can't say the word I want to go with,
No,
but
don't
what are
do
you
it.
doing, Jamal? Like,
Yeah.
what's
He's
this
an awkward
shit?
character.
I hate Jamal
I think
Hill.
he tries in his head. I think things happen, and he thinks that they've gone really well, but they've always just a.
Fucking dumb cunt. I hate him, man.
We should have warned
Yeah, well, I don't like
the
it.
MacBook Pro that we go. We shoot from the hip here.
We shoot
She's
from the
sitting there
hip.
going, all my
I want to
Jamal
see
Hill
Khalil
endorsements
versus
are-
Jamal. I think that's the fight to
That's a good
make
fight.
because
Yeah.
I think Khalil runs through him.
Yeah, and I think the feedback that they both received after their Pereira fight was so different that it'll be so good to see.
One of my favourite stills, and look, I can't fight my way out of a paper bag before he might. I can play football. I can't fight. So anyone out there, anyway,
Can play.
when he got punched and the shock on his face, it was just the best.
He still
Yeah.
can't.
When he got that left,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you could see his soul leave for a second. Like he
Yeah.
was.
And he can't admit to himself that he
It was
got
the way
beaten.
he handled it
Yeah.
afterwards
Should
as
have said,
well.
I got a left hook to
He
my
wrote
face.
a fucking Shakespearean essay on
And
why
then when he
he
saw
lost.
him in person, he's like, "Hey man, how's
Yeah.
it going?"
It's like, bro,
I love that. That's the best when they like talk and then they do the big, yeah, bro, and they dab up
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Alex shushed Herb Dean away. They punched. Like they.
Yeah.
He was ready. He went,
to
yep.
go, yeah.
Then he set.
Yeah.
He threw the first punch, and he
Yeah.
wants to act like he wasn't
Yeah.
ready. Hate you, Jamal Hill.
At the start of the show, Mako show, you talked about some of the judges we discussed today. What do you think about the co-main?
He's-
We
yeah,
like the Pena pass today.
I don't mind the Pena
Yeah,
pasta.
well, that was I had my money on Pena, so I'm
You were happy.
glad that she won.
Yeah.
but I didn't think she was going to win.
I don't think she thought she was going to win.
I don't think so either. Yeah,
And the
a
judges
weird-
were all, the scorecards were all over the shop. I
Yeah.
think most people thought it was 2-2 into the fifth, but
Yeah.
looking at the cards, it wasn't. It was
Yeah, all over the
shop.
place.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think if a fighter doesn't have their hand raised, you know that they don't, because that's always, they do the trickery. And she was just kind of like, and then she went, oh,
Yeah.
She didn't
oh,
expect
fine.
it.
Like she didn't even really jump her. Like I think she was that shocked. She didn't even do like an over the top.
Yeah.
And she's probably known and prone to do some over the top stuff. So,
Oh yeah,
But we get set up with that Kayla. I know she called out Nunes, but
yeah. That threw me off a bit. I think that
Yeah.
threw everyone off.
yeah,
like,
well, I think it threw Kayla off. And
Yeah.
they had the camera because they probably said to
and they
her,
hardly ever had that like
that's right.
behind.
It's like a wrestling backstage
Yeah.
thing. Like
She's obsessed with Amanda Nunes. Like
Yeah.
she is. Yeah. I don't know. I can't believe she did that.
I'd be Lars
She's
Ulrich's
retired,
father.
bro.
I'd be like, I'd delete that. I wouldn't be wanting any part of Amanda ever again. She had an off
50,
night.
43, Jess. She's not running from
No.
you. I find that odd when they like, you're running from me, you're ducking me. It's like, no, I actually bashed you.
Yeah, I
bashed
won.
you up,
No,
and then I
won.
retired,
Yeah.
so-
I won quite comfortably.
Yeah.
One of the most all-time record wins.
I'm not
ever.
running. I'm not running.
And then we saw Conor McGregor. Thought Jose.
I thought Jose got hard
Got a
done
bad-
by, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Bad
That
day
was
for
a
the
rough
judge.
one.
What do you think? Did
'Cause
you think he got?
Yeah, I thought that was, I mean, split though. So
At least one judge had it
My eye
right.
test. I did think the other fella won. To be honest.
It's one of those ones.
it's hard to judge because I had my money on Jose there. So it's like,
so did we.
like
Jose or
it's
Jose.
like,
I had my money on Jose B, but I thought he won it. I think sometimes these judges, Batista was just like, they wrestle up
on
against the
11.
cage.
Hugging
they
the
hug
leg,
and
hugging the leg. Yeah.
You're really not doing a lot. Sometimes the judges don't reward that, and then sometimes they just do reward
yeah.
that.
It depends on who you get on the day. It's
Yeah.
It's consistency in the sport's all we ask for, and we
Yeah.
don't get it, do we?
no.
Was there anything else that stood out today? Mako show.
Kevin Holland with his rib injury, that was a bit.
Connor was very filthy on
Connor
that.
went at it.
Oh yeah,
Connor
Did you
was-
see that?
I did. I
See that?
commented a little foot emoji. Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Imagine you get to go to it's our, what do we say, episode 200. We want to go to his pub and interview him. But I reckon you're on a path. You'll have to put a good word in for us because you'll interview him at his
That's,
pub.
get me on that Lamborghini yacht.
My Godfather.
Yeah, yacht on. Jim on yacht.
Because he's hard to track down where he is. He's moving around a lot.
All the
but
time.
Well, we had Volk for 100, and we're manifesting Connor for 200. So
You have to.
He was filthy with that though, wasn't he? He
We're
was
only
like, show some
62
show some
episodes.
class and go out there and test it. Test your
Well,
dislocated
obviously,
rib.
I'm not going to have a go at Kevin Holland for being soft, but I don't know what his rib was doing. But
I've never
did the ref
dislocated.
call it off, or did Kevin just say
Kev.
like
It was
that?
but it was a weird one because I was listening to the commentary and they
Okay.
were saying it was his coach that should have been the one that determined if it had ended or not. But
Gotcha.
then he said that it did, and that I don't. Yeah, it was a messy day. It was a messy day.
It was an off night.
It wasn't
I reckon
a great
start to
card.
finish.
Kayla
with,
Harrison obviously won. Didn't look.
Not as dominant as she
No.
wanted to be.
Honestly, I think her hype precedes her a little bit. I don't
you
think
might
she's.
have got her a hop train in the pub.
No, I didn't call her a hype train.
Okay.
I just said I don't think she's as good as all this hype. Because you look at her record.
So a hype train.
Yeah.
She
That's pretty much what.
she beat a lot of cans in the PFL, and then she lost to that Lisa Pacheco.
Where's Pacheco at the minute?
She's in the PFL.
Let's bring her over.
That's her best opponent, pretty much, and she lost. And then she went the distance with fucking Aspen Lad.
Aspen Lad, yes.
Scousers don't get knocked out, lad.
Though.
We like the lad, but like you go the distance with the lad, you're not that good, are you? Like you're not this overwhelming behemoth that's just going to steamroll the UFC.
To be fair, though, I do think it's truthful in with her and Pena having their back and forth. I haven't been that interested in the division since this. It has actually gotten us speaking about it, which we hadn't done in months.
But I think people, $1.10 she was paying today. I think people just thought she just steamrolls.
We had her in League One and
she knows how to sell herself in that way.
The Ketlin Vieira, black. I just don't think she's as good as people think she is.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to
she's
see.
realised that we do nicknames in every third sentence yet.
We try to.
Yeah.
We try to.
I told you that. Yeah. I'm like, wait, who are they talking
did he
about?
Say kettle? What's he saying here?
So anyway, whatever. So she won.
Outrageous.
What happened?
My brother, I didn't see it. The 4.
Sparza?
Esparza got
Pennington?
absolutely ripped off, apparently. Did you say that? I didn't see
I
it.
didn't see that one. I watched Wonderboy first.
But the stats were.
Yeah, Wonder Boy getting bopped.
I think she had 4 takedowns to nothing and doubled her
strike. But I was watching on the train actually on the way into the pub, right? So you can't on the phone. But then I looked at. This is no way to analyse a fight, but I looked at the comments on Instagram, and a lot of people.
We're really analytical here, aren't we?
A lot of people on the comments. I was thinking.
Thank God they all got together and talked about the Instagram comments about how.
But then all the comments were like, nah.
Okay.
Pennington, Tisha, whatever the fucking name is, won. So maybe it wasn't a robbery. I don't know.
And then we speak about Wonderboy. That was hard to watch.
Yeah.
He tried that 3 times, that jumping right. And we joked and said that's kind of like there's a pub where we live, Lowell Plenty Hotel. And that used to be Christmas Eve. People would go and settle scores. And like you'd just sit, you'd go and get an early spot. You just watch people punch on and throw outrageous combos. That punch that he was trying to hit was like a pub punch. It was like a jumping haymaker. And he landed it though. Jesus Christ. It was retire, you call it the pub.
Look, it's a bit much, isn't it? If you're Stephen Thompson,
what do you think?
Where do you go from here? Like, what's the point?
He's obsessed with the sport, though.
You're a legend.
He loves it, though.
That's right. So do you take away someone's passion? Right.
No, you love him. That's why you want him to quit.
Yeah.
There's no point now.
If
40
he quits,
plus.
he might not have anything that he wants to do.
He could just be a lovely man for the rest of his life.
And maybe he loves
He's
it,
a bit different to a Tony Ferguson, though.
Yeah,
a lot different. He's still with us. Tony, I feel like Tony Ferguson's his body's moving, but he's over there. Tony's like controlling him in like a
video. That's not Tony. That's not Tony.
That's fake Tony. That's AI Tony.
Something wrong with Tony.
There's nothing wrong with
Tony.
Tony.
Something wrong with Tony. But I think Stephen should probably call it quits at this point.
Yeah, it's hard.
No disrespect.
He's so lovely and so positive towards it all.
Just be a karate coach to the kids and just be a gorgeous man for the rest of your life. Don't keep getting beaten in the UFC, I don't think. I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. We're not fighters. But I think if you're passionate about something, Mako, sometimes people don't know when they need to tap on the shoulder.
Anderson Silva, you get that.
You don't want to watch that for too long as a fan.
It's a stinky last few years.
Muhammad Ali lost to people that shouldn't even be in there.
All these blokes just get stuck getting beaten by bums. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but that's their life.
Could be us in the podcast in a few years. Just sitting here. Like, why are you blokes still doing this?
Well,
61 years old. They're like, welcome back to who the fuck are these guys? We're like, we know who you are by now. Episode 500.
Well, you love it though.
I do love it.
You got to keep going.
There you go.
But then it's almost the opposite way of like with how Pereira's just dominating everyone. Like, and they say that he's getting older. So when does he stop? Does he keep going until he reaches that point?
He's oldish now, isn't he?
37, which is uncharted territory for like a dominant champion.
Yeah, to ever win properly after 36, I think, is the stat.
Yeah.
Pretty well, obviously, like Glover won the title at 40 or something, wasn't it? But he didn't defend it, I don't think. So no one does this.
Nope.
In the way that he's doing it too.
Yeah. I love him. Friend of the pod.
Imagine he was around 10 years ago, what he could do.
How good is he
doing what he's doing, but be 27. Imagine what he'd do in 10 years.
He could have done a lot.
Jeez, I mean, obviously he was doing stuff.
And now I love his you see him in the little garbage bag on Instagram.
I love his little skits.
He's just showing his personality is just taking over the sport.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing that he's become the person that he is without having to speak English. That
Do
just
you think
shows
he
you.
was always like that, but someone said, because you're such a frightening guy, lean into being the frightening guy and then slowly drip feed the audience because
he wasn't doing those dances early days.
We've definitely seen him get more comfortable and I think he's seen the positive reception behind it, and we've learned that that's who he is now. You know, he's able to do that because he's such a beast in the octagon.
Absolutely. So what do we think's next for him before we... Coco's getting itchy out there. Look at him.
Coco's getting itchy feet.
Wants to watch the
Ankalaev, is it? Rakic?
I think everyone wants Ankalaev.
But good for him. I like him just to ice him in round one.
Love him.
Just for like the optics of that.
I'm not really
he's been
bothered
so
by it, to be
keyboardy.
honest.
I don't really want to see it. But
I would prefer him just not to give Ankalaev the fight ever and just laugh a bit. It'd be humorous. But that has to be the fight if he wins, doesn't it?
Yes.
I think just to make everyone happy, he gets it done. Like, so easy kind of thing.
I hope he wins that. That would be the fight, though. Other than the John Jones fight, maybe, but...
Yeah, and then move up after
John's putting the
Ankalaev.
gloves down in that. And you'll be there for John's
John Jones can't retire. If he doesn't retire, he has to fight Aspinall. So, yeah, I guess the Pereira fight's not really a possibility, is it?
Because no.
It's a shame.
It is a
Because that
shame.
would be the fight. If you could just press a button.
Yeah.
That's the fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Question without notice, what would be your... Right now, if you could press a button outside of that one, what would the fight with current fighters be that you'd love
John
to see?
Jones current.
Exclude John. Give us just something that would blow your mind if they fought.
Oh, I want to see like Aspinall Pereira.
Yeah.
I think like just I feel like the heavyweight division right now is just so in lull.
blah.
Like we don't know what's going on because of the whole John Jones thing. You know, Aspinall potentially having to defend his interim belt multiple times.
Imagine a second
so
defense.
you're like, what is going on here?
What's happening?
So I would like to see something like that and actually, you know, imagining that John's not there because, you know,
Yeah.
that's a whole other
Aspinall will
thing.
just become
I'd like
the champ.
Connor Volk.
Yeah, I'd love Connor Volk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would. I'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be
I was
my
going to say it would test my allegiance, but it wouldn't because clearly Volk. But I love Connor. I would love that fight.
Great.
I just love the lead up, the build up. I want Volk to get that payday.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just want him to just get it.
I mean, I also, because I'm a big fan of both, so I would love to see it, but I also hate to see it if Volk fought Diego Lopez.
Oh, hair.
Yeah, man, the
Webbing
fringe
hair.
benefit.
Yeah, we love him.
It'd be a bit of a, so, because I love both Alex and Yuri. So when they fought, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's hard
It'll be the
sometimes,
same
isn't it?
thing if Volk and Diego fought.
I love
So,
Diego, but
Yeah.
I don't want to see that fight.
I understand with you guys. That's it.
I want to see fucking Max Volk 4 in Sydney, February for the belt. That's what I'm manifesting. Volk goes out there. Sorry, Max knocks out fucking Topuria.
Yes.
Fucking that fucking prick. Topuria.
Yeah.
Hate the Topuria. He gets beaten by Max.
Yeah.
And then bang, we got Max Volk 4 in Sydney. Who's complaining?
Are we allowed to say Sydney? Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
You might not be able to because Dana's doing collabs, but he doesn't do it with us, so we can say it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
don't
Everyone
know what
knows.
you're talking about.
Well, we're not in on any special meetings. If we know it's
That's the whisper. I didn't say it.
Apparently.
allegedly.
And I think if Max wins, he's the champ, but he owes Volk
Yes.
because Volk gave him 3 cracks already.
Yeah.
So he owes Volk to come into Australia and defend
he
his
will.
belt.
I think he will.
So I think he would. He knows that.
There'll be something we might be owing out something exciting too.
BMF title on the line, both. Bang.
We
Volk.
won't.
Oh,
we
the
won't
two.
yet, but
Yes.
Tell you what.
We won't announce anything yet, Matthew.
But gee whiz, there's something maybe brewing there. Mako shark.
No, fuck me. What else have we got? Coming up quickly before we wrap up.
Well, I think it's been fantastic.
We've got a big weekend. We'll just quickly cover it. We've got
Go for it.
Cody Haddon fighting. Cody Haddon fighting, making his debut, Matthew, the Aussie from Perth, fighting this weekend in
That's
the
big.
UFC fight night. He just got the contract
gonna say,
like
he
a
just
month
got
ago
that.
Wow.
in Dana White's Contenders.
It's a quick.
Just
Quick
went bang.
turnaround.
And they've done that with our man Sterling too. He's got a
Navajo's fighting pretty quickly fucking too. So they're getting these Aussies and New Zealanders quickly in there and getting fights.
Yeah.
So I think Cody Haddon up against some prick, who cares? I think I don't know what his name is.
You'll
but,
find that's our level sometimes. We're
Who's
locking
he
on a
fighting?
guy.
Dunno.
We don't know.
But yeah, that's this Sunday.
Yes.
So that's something to look at. I think Sean Gauci, another Aussie's fighting on the Contender this week
Oh,
too.
the gouch.
The Gauci.
So many good Aussie, New
It's all
Zealand
happening.
fighters coming
Contender
up.
series has just been Anzacs every week, man.
Yeah.
So I think he's fighting this Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sean Gauci, keep an eye on him. Jai Pataya is fighting.
Pataya.
Jai Pataya, friend of the pod,
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Big friend of the pod, Jai.
2-time friend of the pod. So that's
Yes.
exciting. Excited for that. He wins that.
Does win. I'll
All
never.
the friends of the pod win.
Correct.
It's Bivol Bietabiv, Matthew. Big fight.
That's actually a frightening. That's a big fight. I didn't realise it was
Brian
fighting.
Nicholson's fighting.
Yes.
It's all happening on Sunday with the
Yes.
boxing. So that's
The
good.
Bivalaqua.
The Bivalaqua fighting. Look, we'll wrap it up. Anything else? Aly Mac, Return of the Mac. Where do they find you?
Where do they find you?
Where
Chat, do all your.
Fuck me.
Plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Plug away.
Yeah.
This will really help ratings go up.
You can find me at alymac.mma on Instagram, or you can watch the first episode of The Kickback with Aly Mac on Full Violence's YouTube channel.
There you go.
We're Pump Maker.
That's professional
today.
as fuck, that is.
As we said, we've enjoyed absolute professional, always very friendly, and as we said, we're happy because none of the computer stuff. So it's another soldier.
To be
for us.
honest, when I first started making these videos, when you guys started first following me, I was like, oh my God.
Starstruck.
You were my Volk.
That's
like,
he's the
Cheers
social
that.
media guy.
Cheers that.
Yeah.
I'll do a Bluetooth, but
That's exciting.
Mix. He's been very good for our socials. I've got no part. He's grown.
I was actually wondering, like, who am I
No,
talking
it's
to
the hair
when
guy.
I because you always say like I, and I'm like, who is
Yeah,
I?
I don't like
Who
to
is
like
I?
preface. It's just
Yeah.
you speak to
Hair
the
guy.
entity.
So if anyone out there, if you're speaking to the page, it's the guy with hair. The feathers guy sits in the
Yep.
in the
Good to know.
clouds. Good to know.
No, but shout out. I'm excited to see it. I want to see your rise
Thank
continue.
you.
It's good. Aussies onto the top.
We'll get there.
Just
Thanks for having me.
First of many, hopefully. Haven't
First
scared
of
her off.
many.
Come in live
We'll
stream
get you
when we do
back.
that.
We might
No,
have to
this
come
is
on
fun.
your show at one point too.
Yeah, no, we'd love
Imagine that,
it.
we'll
We'd
have
love
The
it.
Fook back with Aly Mac.
And come and just look at our lives and what we're doing. It'd be, geez,
I
it'd be
like
just
food.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
you have
food.
actually responded to quite a few of my little
Yeah,
foodie
no,
stories.
I'm all
so
about the
we can
other
do a little
cult.
Melbourne
We'll
Big
get-
food
food
guy.
tour.
I've got a friend of the pod that knows a bit about food too. In
little
the
bit. A little-
you know,
a little
Melissa,
bit.
she knows a bit about food.
Couple of friends, Volk.
Volk knows about food, so yeah, we'll get together.
Jesus, you got
Oh,
some
yeah.
unbelievable crossover
Oh, yeah.
potential for this show too. That I'm sure you've gone on a bit of paper. that you're
Oh, I'm
reading.
so excited. There's so much good stuff to come.
We do
Unreal.
appreciate on a Sunday too, Mako. Shark
On a
after a
Sunday.
big day, you know.
Let's wrap it up. We could probably talk all day. We'll take it off air.
Yes.
But like, subscribe, get on Engage. Fook 10% off. Bloody root me.